Hello and welcome to my 57th water review for YouTube. Today is Friday, March 8th, 2019, and this week I'll be doing another foreign water. Last week, someone must have picked up my review of Cortaz's rose water because it seemed to have collected quite a few views in a very short period of time, so I don't know if someone shared that off or not, but if you did, please let me know and I will thank you for that. Anyways, this week we'll be doing Mexican club soda, as they call it, Mineragua, which is actually created by Jarritos, which is a Mexican company, which is now owned by the Mexican food conglomerate Novamex. Now, before Novamex owned them, it was actually founded in 1950 by Don Francisco Hill, and he was actually, interestingly, a chemist, so all of his drinks are, I guess, his chemistry experiments. Now, another interesting fact about the Mineragua or Jarritos is that the first soda flavor that they created was actually coffee, a coffee soda. I guess that didn't really catch on, since not anyone I know produces any coffee flavored sodas, although it might be an interesting thing to try out. But also another interesting flavor, which at least is interesting to us northerners, is the tamarind flavor, which is more common in southern climates. However, up here in the north, you don't really see a lot of tamarind flavored drinks or anything like that, so I found that quite interesting as well. Another little interesting fact, Jarritos actually means little jugs, and this is because in the past people would use small clay jugs to keep their drinks and flavored drinks as well cold, and so they decided to use that name for the company. Now, while Jarritos, the website itself, actually didn't have much information about their social and environmental initiatives, although their website was quite nicely designed with a lot of information about the history and just a really nice, interesting, and fun design with little funny quirks to the writing style that they used. I really did like their website. However, it didn't have any environmental or social initiatives, so I dug around a bit more, and on Novamex's website they actually mentioned that they prefer to use glass bottles for their Jarritos brand because it's easier to reuse and recycle, as well as the fact that they have solar installations on all of their facilities to offset their carbon footprint. So, just in terms of company history and interestingness, that is quite good for Jarritos. Now, moving on to bottle design and materials, and the materials and design are also quite excellent. A really sturdy glass bottle, a unfortunately not reusable metal cap, but it is very nicely secured to the top of the bottle and has an interesting little logo on there. It actually says Made in Mexico with a cool little Aztec bird on the top of it, as well as it says Mineragua. Now, with the design of the bottle itself, it is actually quite an interesting designed glass bottle. I've never seen this before, but they have these slight ridges on the top of the bottle here near the neck, as well as a funny textured finish around the ridges, as well as a textured finish near the base of the bottle. Another little embossed part that they've done here is they've embossed Jarritos into the glass as well. But otherwise, they really don't make a lot of mentions to the Jarritos brand. They have the embossed logo here in the glass, as well as a small little logo here at the bottom of the label. But that's really it. The front and center logo here is the Mineragua name. So I guess they're trying to differentiate themselves and maybe not confuse customers who might be buying for the soda and not necessarily the carbonated water. Anyways, in terms of the label design and materials, the label is actually in two parts, and both are very nicely secured to the bottle with excellent gluing, no wrinkles or tears or anything. And the design is also very nice. They went for this blue and white color scheme and just a simple, elegant design with some nice clay pots, the Jarritos, as they mentioned. And you can also see in the background that because they made this clear, it actually shows that the inside of the back label has some cool little ice cube logo and design on the inside there. I do find it funny though that they mention no sugar and no calories, but no calories is mentioned twice because the French word is actually calorie as well. So I guess on the French side, you're supposed to pronounce it more with a French accent when you say no calories. Moving on to the back label, and we will see that they do have a nutrition facts table, but they don't have a mineral table. They also mention that they add salt, sodium bicarbonate, sodium citrate, and sodium sulfate. And all of those different sodium containing molecules add up to a total sodium content in this bottle of 69 milligrams. Well done, Jarritos. And overall, that's just the design and overall materials of the Jarritos Mineragua bottle. And now we'll move on to tasting. Now I have pulled out my absolutely ridiculously sized bottle opener, and we will give some smelling and tasting notes. Now I am seeing some bubbles, so that is a good sign. Very fizzy indeed. Now on the nose, you do get a slight, almost limey citrusy note. Maybe that's the citrate. I don't know if citrate has a citrus note to it, but you do get a slight chalky as well as a slight medicinal citrus note to it. It's very interesting. I think it must just be that traditional carbonated water nose that you get. But overall, not a very complex or interesting nose overall, just kind of a neutral, traditional carbonated water nose. Now, in terms of taste, wow, very, very nice taste. You get a slight kind of chalky mouthfeel just right at the beginning, but overall you get a nice, soft, sweet taste to it. The carbonation is also quite excellent, but overall you just get a really nice, it's almost like a lemon citrusy note, but it's not so sour as much as it is sweet. And also it does kind of dry out your mouth a little bit. That must be from all of the different sodium containing molecules they've added in. But really nice, sweet taste, but not hugely complex. But it is a very pleasing taste, to say the least. So, moving on to final score. For company history and interestingness, they have a good website with a lot of interesting little pieces of information there. They do have a good amount of information about the history of the company. However, I really would have liked to seen a bit more about the product itself, as well as maybe a link to Novamex's website to show off the more information they have there about their CSR initiatives. So in terms of company history and interestingness, they get 2.25 out of 2.5 points. In terms of bottle design and materials, they also do quite well. The materials are very sturdy. However, I would have really liked to see a resealable cap, although with such a small bottle, it's not going to lose any points for not having a reusable cap. But overall, the label design is also quite good, and the bottle design for that matter. I would have liked to see a mineral table on the back, or even just maybe a link to their website to have a mineral table on there. But overall, the design is clean, it's very well constructed, and therefore they get 2.25 out of 2.5 points for bottle design and materials as well. Now, in terms of taste, the taste is not complex. The nose is not complex either, but they're quite controlled and they are very nice as well, especially the taste. It's a very nice drink to have, and even with just maybe a squeeze of lemon or a squeeze of lime, that would make it a really nice summer drink, or even just to have any time at dinner or whatever. But overall, I think it has a really nice, well-rounded taste to it, and therefore they're getting a solid 3 out of 4 points for taste. Now, in terms of value, I bought this at a convenience store, so you do end up paying a bit more at convenience stores. So I paid $2 for this 370 milliliter bottle, which is a bit much, and I would say go and buy a Perrier or whatever. But if you are looking for an interesting foreign carbonated water to try, then I would certainly recommend picking up Mineragua. It's very nice, and I would certainly be interested to try some of Jarritos' other sodas if they're just as good as Mineragua. Anyways, in terms of the value, because I paid $2 for it, I am going to give it only half a point out of 1 point, but you might be able to find it for cheaper. So tallying it all up, Mineragua by Jarritos gets a very respectable 8 out of 10 points. Really just an overall great package. They've done a great job with their website. The bottle design materials are excellent and the taste is really nice and friendly and approachable. So overall, I would recommend. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed my water review for this week. Please like and subscribe, comment down below which water you'd like me to review next, as well as please stay tuned for next Monday's review. I have another food review coming out. I'm going to put out a few of these and just see how it affects the viewership on my channel, and if things go well, and I believe they do because a lot of you really liked my Doritos review that I did, I think I will just continue with those and maybe add in some different products, food products, or maybe drink products to review in my Monday videos. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you on Monday.